Well, that was a great first act. Welcome, everybody, to Intermissions with Hanson and Simone. I am your co host, Hanson, and this is.
Hi guys, I'm Simone. Welcome.
Yes, yes. And we're just here to get you to Act Two. Some of us may have had a rough Act One, kids annoying us in the morning, parents trying to get us out of bed, teachers.
Students,
You know,
everyone.
Act One was hard.
Act 1 was really hard, guys. But we are here today to just ease it a bit, right? Get your minds off of the real life.
The real life. And get us prepared for Act Two. Act Two is different for everybody, but we're here to just get you there.
Exactly.
So Simone,
Yes, Hanson.
what's the topic for today?
The topic for today is the evolution of animation. Because I feel like animation just slowly downgraded from greatness.
See, but are you talking about like drawn animation to now we're at like this computerized 3D animation?
Okay, so like not all animation downgraded. Let me stop playing. Disney's animation, when they put money into it, is amazing. Cartoon
Frozen
Network.
2. Frozen
Frozen
2's
2. Can we talk about
animation.
Frozen 2 for a second? Frozen 2, the details in Frozen 2, incredible.
I'm really let y'all know, when I first saw Frozen 2, I thought that shit was a video game. I was like, what is this? And then I was like, is that Elsa? I was like, is this a game?
Did you see the water?
The water graphics?
The water was beautiful, right? Frozen 2 is beautiful. What I think has downgraded are cartoon animated shows. Well, cartoon animated means the same thing. Well, I mean, like, if we go back to, like, early on animation, yes, it was drawn until, like, I really can't do math in my head because math isn't my major, but until, like, what, almost 20 years ago? And even then, we were still using drawn animation. I just think that growing up, drawn animation is just something that's rooted in us. And not all drawn animation is spectacular, right? But I think that there's a level of authenticity to it. There's a level of character and personality for each individual character. That's just,
I mean, I feel that, except for Disney, because as everyone knows, back in Disney's early days of drawn animation, they robbed their own stuff.
What do you mean?
Can you plagiarize? Can you plagiarize yourself?
Yes, you can.
Because Baloo and Big John had the same.
Okay, but no.
Had the
Do
same
not
animation.
do that. Do not do that. No, they had the same actions. They reused scenes to save money. They didn't use the same animation. They just reused the scenes to save money because, Disney almost didn't make it.
I mean, Disney also didn't make it. But my thing with animation, and for those of us that were born in the early 90s, was able to grow up seeing the transition of drawn animation to the beginning stages of computer animation to just full-blown computer 3D animation. It's just been like that progression has really grown with it. And then it's like you said, Simone, it's just who's getting the money. Because depending on which animation like people are pouring money into, you would actually see like really, really good animation versus just like, I think this show will only be here for a season. So you get like the bare minimum.
Until then, the show gets picked up for a season 2, and then you just see a better quality animation.
Steven Universe.
let's not get into Steven Universe animation is good. Steven Universe and Steven Universe just did not complete the whole show for me.
But like the animation of Steven Universe,
Oh, the animation was really good.
yeah, but it got like better throughout
Yes.
as the show went on, because Cartoon Network, they were like, oh, we see like money coming from this show, so they really started pouring in money, which prompted really good animation towards like the latter half of the show. But as we talk about that, it's just like when we look at animation, and I'm really going to talk to our generation with this, right? We want to bring back a lot of good shows. You know,
we shouldn't.
It's not that we shouldn't. It's just that if we bring it back, let's make sure that the animation is on point. Like, let's just really make sure that the animation is on point.
Are you talking about Rugrats?
I mean, I'm not hating on Rugrats' animation.
Yes, you are.
I feel like I just gotta get used to it.
There's nothing to get used to for that, and it doesn't look good. Truthfully and honestly, it does not look good.
I feel like it has potential.
To do what? What more are Rugrats going to do? Rugrats went from Rugrats to all grown up. It shouldn't have been adult rats or something.
You said adult rats. You a fool. You a fool. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Rugrats animation. Granted, we don't know what generation they're trying to hit, right? Because I feel like if they're trying to hit our generation, you know, the people that grew up with Rugrats. And again, Rugrats had that animation change in it from when it first started, and that rough drawn animation.
Rough.
I'm like, y'all, we talking
rough, like
rough, like sandpaper rough Rugrats, to the first movie where you really started to see that computer animation really work its way into Rugrats. Like, cause like I think it was still like half drawn, half computerized. In that realm, I think that animation was really good.
100% Hanson. I think that animation looks good, but I just think that there's something wrong with being fully computerized. I just think that the way that how like Disney is doing it versus Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, and I know like they're all three completely different platforms, but Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon have very similar animations now than Disney, and I think that they could learn from it, right? But guys, we're going to take a very quick break, and then afterwards, check us back out.
And we're back, guys.
Howdy.
So, Simone.
So, Hanson.
As we look through the evolution of animation, right? 2 questions. Who gave you your favorite animation style? And where do you think animation will end up going in the future?
Ooh, that first question is hard. Who gave me my favorite animation style? I don't think I have a favorite animation style. And like, guys, for the record, we have not even like gone into anime of itself, which will be like a whole nother episode, because that's whole nother episode. But I enjoy like the early 1930s drawn animation. If you guys ever watch like the Betty Boop cartoons that you can find on YouTube, I highly enjoy that type of animation where the arm could look bent, right? Her elbow might look round, but then when she places it at a certain angle, it looks like a normal elbow, arm, body, limb, right?
Dang. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right. But I enjoy different types of animation. I just think now, and it's so funny that I bring that up because I think that animation now took inspiration from animation, like from Looney Tunes back when, from Betty Boo, where like the arms are so rounded, the legs are so rounded. But I think because it's computerized, it's just so different. It's so weird to look at. Maybe because like I was spoiled enough to have drawn animation and then drawn and computerized together. But I don't know. I don't know, Hanson. What was your second question?
My second question is, where do you see animation going from here? Like, do
Oh,
you see that 3D computerized animation starting to like lead the forefront, or is there going to be like a mix of these kinds of animations?
I definitely think that it's going to be a mix just because we never know how 3D animation is going to be on people. And know that there are a lot of people like me who is in love with the older type of animation, and maybe there are some of us here listening today who is an artist and you guys are thinking about starting your own studios and you guys will do cartoons just like that again, and probably that will start back just how we are reprising literally every single show that's ever been on air before. What about you, Hanson? What has been your favorite type of animation thus far?
My favorite type of animation,
Don't lie, because I know where you live.
wow, were the studios that were coming for Disney in the late 90s and the early 2000s.
Oh, do you mean when the two people working for Disney left and then they did Anastasia?
Fire animation. Y'all, if you haven't seen Anastasia, Disney
Ooh,
Disney bought Fox Studios and they put Anastasia on there.
we have to watch it.
Do yourself the service and go watch Anastasia and just marvel at that animation, right?
It's literally Disney animation.
But better, right? Anastasia, the Prince of Egypt's animation,
Yes.
immaculate, right? And here's my thing with animation. Animation, for me, needs to be like so good that it doesn't matter what decade I'm looking at it, that animation could go toe to toe with any animation that's out right now. And that's the movie side. But like if we go to like the TV side, I'm looking at Nickelodeon's animation
Mm,
From Butch Hardman.
mm-hmm.
So I'm talking like Danny Phantom,
His
Fa-
reign on Disney.
Fairly Odd Parents. He had like two other shows, but those are the two shows that come to my mind right now. Those two animations, if you put them on, if they were new on Nick right now, I would not think that was an old animation. I think this is animation coming out right now,
Interesting.
right? Like that's just how good of an anime. That's just how good of an artist Butch Hartman was.
And we need a Danny Phantom
Part
update
two,
show. Like,
part
we
two.
need that.
So that's like my thing. So the studios that were battling Disney late 90s, early 2000s, and then that Butch Hartman run on Nickelodeon, because I'm pretty sure I watched all of his shows because there was like back to back to back to back. He was just ran Nickelodeon for like
A very long time.
5 to 7 years, like
A
that.
very long time.
Well, there wasn't a show on Nickelodeon that didn't have his name attached to it. Ridiculous. And then for that last question, I don't think that 3D computerized animation is going to last. I think we just need, like, if a